Sonic the Hedgehog, one of the greatest and most attractive characters ever thought of.
So what you've just seen is the opening line to one of the most iconic and infamous videos in the entire Sonic community.
A top 10 list of the most beautiful female Sonic characters.
This guy to talk about, like, I don't know, quill length, pyrokinesis, you know, all attractive things in women, taking wing. He took down the original video, which, I mean, frankly, I don't see why he would do that. It's a pretty good video. But you know what? I don't have any shame. Alright, I'm interested in, you know, the general attractiveness of anthropomorphic animal characters. He's talked about women already. You know, that's cool. He can do that. That's his thing. I'm personally interested. The other side of the gender binary. I mean, after all, Sonic is
one of the greatest and most attractive characters ever thought of.
And, you know, he's a guy. So, this Valentine's Day, I just figured I'd do something.
I'll sin in my own way! Okay.
My top 10 hottest guys in the Sonic series, yeah. To make things easier, to make things, you know, a little more concise, I'm going to be sticking to mainline canon as my primary source for a lot of these characters and their reasons for being on here. Spin-off material like Sonic Boom, Sonic X, the movies, the Archie comics that are no longer canon, those will be secondhand. So unless it further elucidates one of my points as to why they're on this list, they will not be considered. So that's pretty much it. I do have a few honorable mentions before I actually get into my top 10. I feel remiss not to mention some of these characters since they do have quite a big following. You know, they have their fans, and I don't really want to leave anyone out. But you know, again, this is personal taste. So shoutouts to Scourge/Evil Sonic, E123 Omega, Jet the Hawk, Silver the Hedgehog, and of course, Dr. Eggman, who I really wanted to include, but you know, he's got enough love for himself. I think he'll be fine. All right, grab a snack and a glass of orange juice, and try not to reach through the screen, because
here we go!
I'm doing this a bit differently from Guptil. I know you guys are probably all like, it's a parody video, right? You're gonna do in the same editing style, same like weird reasons, like, oh, Sonic's got like a 4.5 inch like quill difference. Ooh, that's pretty hot. No, I think I'm gonna be pretty reasonable, gonna be pretty real. And to start, I didn't know whether I should count robot characters for this list at all. Seeing as, by their very nature, robots are a gender, but I want to make an exception for Gemerl, because when he does use masculine pronouns, so it's cool, it's alright. And I just wanted to gush about the guy, because he doesn't get enough love, frankly. So, this guy is a reformed Eggman robot. After his defeat by Sonic, Tails reprogrammed him to assist Cream and Vanilla as a protector and a bodyguard, and honestly, I love his relationship with his new little rabbit family. Like, his motivation is driven by their feelings and their safety. And unlike characters like Omega, he's not necessarily a fighter. He doesn't, like, train or upgrade himself. And he never really seeks conflict. He just wants to protect his family. I think that's so sweet. I love me a good family man. And he's got a sick fucking design. A gem in his forehead. Looks like a third eye. And if you know my taste and like Dragon Ball men, that's not a bad thing at all. And you know, honestly, I think the only reason he's this low on my list is because he just doesn't get enough things to do. He is kind of just stuck at Vanilla's house. His only real like personality trait is keeping others safe, and I guess that's cool. Like, that's respectable. I like it, but I think you need a little more to be considered. But you know what? It's still pretty sweet for a Tin Man. Okay, my number 9 pick is going to come as a bit of a surprise. You're probably wondering what he's doing so low on my list, considering he's got quite the popularity as of late. At least by the time this is being recorded. But my 9th pick is Shadow the Hedgehog. I mean, you're probably thinking he was going to be top 5, maybe even number 1. I mean, but no, I'm not going to be that predictable. I don't think I got to get into Shadow's backstory like I do Gemerl. He's pretty well defined at this point. I think anybody who's been in the Sonic fan base in the past 5 years just kind of gets him. I do want to say one thing that I really like about him, and it's his mission that he's on about. It's built out of love and a promise to someone he lost, and I think that's very admirable, but I can't put him any higher than 9, because his mission is ultimately keeping him from finding time to just be with someone. And he's very cold, he's very distant, he doesn't like having other people's help him. But I you know what? I see the appeal in Shadow, okay? He's cool, he's got a nice voice,
To all who oppose me.
got cool powers, he's got the brooding and tragic backstory. He's the emo boy of Sonic, and, you know, a lot of people like that. I'd be remiss not to put him on this list, but I just can't put him any higher, and I hope you guys will understand that. So for my number 8 pick, this was actually, like, I don't know why. I don't know why I was compelled, but that's love, right? That's love, it just compels you to do things. And my number 8 is Espio the Chameleon. And I think he fits a very similar mold to Shadow. He's kind of brooding, he's kind of like emo. He does work well with others, the Chaotix, but that's about as far as it goes. I do find that, like, there are some instances when he's actually forced to interact with others, and he's super socially awkward, but you know what, I find he's cute. Something is just inexplicably alluring and attractive about a man in the shadows, and maybe it's also just the way he's, like, dressed and drawn in The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog as, like, this flowery, fruity little poet. I don't know, beats me. But he's number 8. Number 7, I'm gonna pull out the real shit for this one. At least by the time I'm recording this, I've been kind of getting back into the Archie stuff, because, I don't know, it's just inexplicably, it's like stuff that's more interesting and fun and weird. And Elias Acorn is honestly the GOAT. Like, he's my number 7 pick, and he's the GOAT. But you know what? He's respectful. He doesn't let this position of power change his, I guess, moral standing or knowing what to do. He's devoted, but he also knows what to do when it's the right thing to do, and not just be like, oh, I have to consider like the feelings of my royal family. No, your dad sucks, Elias. But you're cool. He's hot, he's suave, he's my king. You may not like it, I don't give a fuck.
I'm trying to avoid any sort of contact with my eyes with this thing.
While we're on the topic of comics, my number 6 pick is, my only villain on this list, my evil gay platypus. My beloved Dr. Starline. I hope I don't have to explain myself with this one. I'm just making it clear, I don't condone his actions. He's caused a lot of grief, specifically for Surge and Kitsunami, but you know what? Without him, we never have those two, and I love these two very much. But that's not what this is about. This is about Starline. He's Eggman's biggest, or was Eggman's biggest fanboy. Real dedicated egghead, studying all of his fucking, like, past exploits. Like, they're kind of inseparable for a bit. Like, Starline is massively crushing on Eggman. And it's insane how they meet, get married, argue, and then divorce in, like, a week. And that's just because Eggman, like, again, Eggman's not on this list because he is too in love with himself. And Starline has to learn that firsthand. But we gotta talk about him and what I'm actually attracted to him. And I think it's just the way that he's drawn. Like, I think the IDW artists are on something, and it's yaoi cocaine. Because they made him fruity, fashionable, like, super, like, his poses, his expressions, the way he talks to others, it's super, like, I don't know. And I was actually rooting for him. This is a villain character who I actively wanted to root for because I wanted to see him succeed. I wanted him to prove his intellectual equal with Dr. Eggman. I don't want to keep getting into it, though, because the IDW comics are fantastic, and I wouldn't ever never wish to spoil them for anybody. Please go read Bad Guys and Imposter Syndrome. They're fantastic. They'll give you a little more insight in Starline. I don't want to keep talking about him. I've got 5 more entries to go, but I'm just saying, this guy's hot. I was super fascinated with him when I first read about him, and I'm still fascinated to this day. Anyway, at number 5, I have Knuckles the Echidna, last of his kind, guardian of Angel Island, low-key the coolest character in the entire fucking series. He's got the best music tracks in the adventure games, but that doesn't mean anything. Look, he's a strong guy, he's a dedicated guy, he's straightforward, he's very blunt, but he's also very naive, and that kind of leads him to make stupid decisions, and I'm not saying that makes him an idiot, alright? There's been a lot of, kind of mischaracterization of Knuckles, that he's like this fucking dumb blockhead idiot man. But no, he's just raised in a different environment. He doesn't really know how to, like, I guess, interact with others. And it's not the same kind of social, like, distance that Shadow and Espio have. He's just doesn't know how to, like, talk to people. He's very trustworthy, though. He's super trusting, but that kind of leads him to get into some situations that are less than ideal. But you know what? I will say he's very self-actualized. He knows his position in the world, and he follows it to a stubborn degree. And he gets flustered around women easily, which I think is cute. That's all. He's a cutie. I'm tired of pretending he's not. Knuckles is cute. Number 5. Moving on. Alright, again from the pages of the Archie comics, I am pulling because, gosh darn it, if I don't love Antoine Decoulette. It may come as a surprise to you, viewers who only know him from the Saturday morning cartoon, where he was annoying, he was cowardly, like, oh, this guy?
Because he's a coward. Something!
But no, in the comics, he's a pretty cool dude. Like, while Sonic was a brash and fearless freedom fighter, Antoine was kind of like his opposite. Like, he was more refined, but he also just lacked any confidence. You kind of see him grow a little bit. You see him risk his life. Like, he's clearly scared of what he's doing, but he's doing it anyway. And if that ain't courage, then I don't know what is. Like, Sonic has no fear, but Antoine has fear, but he just does it anyway, because he's that guy. He is that dude. I don't want to hear any Antoine hate, you know? He was every amount of hero that he ever wanted to be. Like, his friends, his family, the world. He showed them he is a capable freedom fighter. His relationship with Bunny is the fucking cutest thing in the entire Sonic series. It is so lovely. We're never gonna see it again, sadly. I have to think about that every time I'm reading it. I'm like, these characters are never coming back. But yeah, he's lovely. He's a lovely little French man.
Like young girls, I like them 15, 14, 16. I like them real young, my nigga. I don't like women in 20.
Alright, number 3. I mean, come on, look at him. It's Vector, the crocodile. I'm not gonna elaborate too much on him, because there's really not a lot to him, but, like, just the things that he does and the things that he is are super attractive to me. He's dripped out of his gourd, cool as fuck. Could pull one of the hottest women, according to Guptil.
Your mom?
He's loud, he's chill, he's fun, he's buff. He's always chasing that bag, but he still runs, like, a completely free charity detective agency, despite him constantly needing money, which is just so nice. You know, it's so thoughtful of the man. He loves his girlfriend, Rabbit, and, you know, that kind of passion exudes from every little scale on his body. I don't care if y'all think he's annoying, just because of his voice, because of the computer room. That kind of stuff is shallow, skin deep. It doesn't matter to me, because I look at people as they are, and Vector's a pretty chill dude. And he's number 3. So no surprises here. Guptil said it himself, he's one of the greatest and most attractive characters of all time. Number 2 is Sonic the Hedgehog. He's got a lot to offer. He may be, like, cocky and quippy, but at his core, Sonic, like, genuinely cares about his friends. He's the type of guy who will go out of his way to cheer someone up if they're not feeling good, and will not stop until they are better. Because no situation or problem is impossible for the Blue Blur. He's got no ulterior motives, no desires or gains. He just does things because has the freedom to do it, and because he knows it's the right thing. Nothing else really matters as long as there's peace and freedom at the end of the day. I can't put him at number 1. I think he would have been a perfect shoo-in for number 1 because he is the perfect man. But his like adventurous spirit makes it hard for him to be like tied down to anything, especially relationships. He's very iffy and icky about those over the years in the mainline canon anyway. He's got a lot of love to give, but he's got a lot of people to give it to. So that sort of thing just isn't his move. Or maybe it's just asexual. I don't know. A lot of people don't seem to like that headcanon. But I mean, you can, like, he's still capable of loving people without being in a relationship, and that's honestly nice of him. Good for him. Honestly, good for him. I still think he's attractive, but like, nothing I can do about it.
Wait! Hedgehogs can't talk?
Oh! Okay, so we're at the number 1 spot, and I'm not joking. I'm seriously not joking when I say this. Like, after, like, I ranked, hold on. You ready for this? I ranked every single character, for the consideration on this list. Am I doing it right? And he genuinely made my number 1 spot. Like, I can't, like, thank you, by the way, Frost Tezuka, for making this tier list, because it actually made it easier for me to, like, pull apart and rank, like, different characters in the Sonic series. You know, he genuinely surprised me. Like, I'm like, I'll put him on the list, and then as I added them, I'm like, does he go above or below? And I kept putting him up, and it was like mind-blowing that he was going this far. But also, this guy also made it possibly the biggest obstacle for me to, like, make this video, because, like, Guptil had the guts to just go out there and say it, that Rouge is the number 1, like, Sonic girl. And you know, that's a pretty reasonable, respectable, one might even argue objective opinion. But, like, this one isn't. This one is very much a toss-up, very much like oh, are you just, like, fucking around, you just joking? Like, no, after much consideration, I was genuinely like, yeah, he's number 1. Big the Cat is my number 1. Like, yeah. So after being introduced in Sonic Adventure, Big the Cat was immediately disliked by pretty much by most Sonic fans. His story wasn't interesting. He was looking for a fucking frog the whole time. His gameplay sucked. Still just fishing, and that was his legacy from that point on. Just a big fucking annoying fat joke of a character. And, you know, that's fair. That's a genuinely fair opinion to have, because that's what he was. But, like, over the years, he's just kept being in things, and that's when it finally clicked with me. Like, this guy's awesome. He's, like, kind of just a chill dude. And, like, his most recent appearances in Frontier and Shadow Generations, he's, like, being trapped in cyber pocket dimensions and outside the fucking bounds of time. But he's still got this, like, calm voice, his nice demeanor, this, like, jovial attitude. Like, he's completely unbothered by all the sad situations, because why do I need to be? Why should I always look at the negatives when I could be looking at the positives? And that's what Big is. He is a positive force in a dire situation. He just wants to fish, he just wants to make his friends happy, he's got a dad bod, a calm voice, a pleasant demeanor. As long as his friends are happy and safe, he can just chill out, keep fishing. And even if his friends aren't happy and safe, he'll just offer them a fishing rod when they need to chill out, kind of slow down, relax. It's a good man. Big's a great man. I want to go fishing with him. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm sure your glass of orange juice is empty by now, so I won't bother you guys with any more of this Sonic talk. Comments are open. Make sure to tell me how stupid I am for making this, and, you know, maybe tell me who your Sonic character you're most attracted to is. I don't care. I'll read it, because I care about this kind of stuff. And you gotta give me Real ass reasons, alright? Don't talk about like Amy's
3 big, very smooth arcs of hair.
Okay. That shit is fake. Alright. Have a nice Valentine's Day, everybody.